Ladies and gentlemen, bienvenidos. Welcome to a Get Laced and Let's Talk podcast with yours truly, Santana and G Boogie, a.k.a. GSTAMPZ. We are starting a new segment on here called Hot Topics, and we have a lot of great things to talk about because the streets are most definitely talking. I want to start off with sending our condolences to XXXTentacion, who passed away 3 days ago. Now, you know they have a lot of conspiracy theories around there, though.
Right. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, it was crazy. A lot of people are saying that he faked his death or something like that.
Yeah, they were saying that they had a lot of things saying that they didn't find any blood on him. The tattoo that he had posted on his Instagram on the side of his face was not there. They're thinking it's a fake body, a clone. Some of them think that it's dealing with his album called No Post or something or whatever, but they end up finding his killer today, actually, and arresting him for, I think, first-degree murder.
Yeah. And I think that's just kind of like the world we live in now. I think everybody's kind of looking for something crazy, you know, as a backstory. But they talked to the one of the witnesses as well, and he was saying the reason the blood wasn't showing is because it was a close range shot. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the blood was coming out on the other side. But, yeah, I was kind of like, when I heard all that, I was kind of like Charlemagne. You know, he gave everybody who was saying that he faked his death donkey of the day, you know, cause I was kind of the same way, like, you know, if there's no proof that he didn't really, you know, fake his death, you know, we should definitely, you know, it's people grieving about this young man, you know, his mom and family, so I was like, you know, come on now.
Then the thing about his baby mama, the girl who's carrying his child, she had put something, I think she did something like a visual for him or something, and I think the fans or somebody burned it or whatever because, you know, of the situation that him and her had going on. They put you saying that she ruined his life or something. So I don't know. I think people should just, you know, let people handle their own situation without jumping in, you know, especially if it has nothing to do with you at all.
Yeah. I don't know any of the details behind the situation with him and his child's mother or whatever, but, you know, that was something that, you know, they obviously had, you know, it definitely, he was paying the price because, like, if you remember, like, right before he died, they Spotify banned him and R. Kelly's music. But then they went right back and said, right back and said, we're not going to ban it because, you know, it's like a slippery slope when you go to banning people, artists, because of their personal lives, because they all kind of, throughout history, have done similar things, you know. And so they rescinded that, but at the same time, he was kind of going through that. So, you know, I don't understand fans who would, you know, want to make her life hard because obviously that was a very personal situation for him and her.
Extremely.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I just think that, you know, people should allow them to, you know, well, and really ain't much you can say now because he's deceased, so, you know, I just wish that people were not making conspiracy theories and, you know, being negative. Some people say they were glad he was dead and, you know, just because of the things that he has done when he was alive. I think that those times when he was talking about suicide and all this and that and the live posters and stuff, I think that somebody, whoever was around him, should at least been trying to talk to him on like a personal level, you know, to at least help him, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like he was like a cry for help. And then there was this post that he put that nobody really cares about you until you're dead. And now look, the whole world knows his music now. And his music is on iTunes, #1, I think, and #2, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
wow. And I will say this as somebody who kind of, I came up and can remember like the Tupac and Biggie situation, you know.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, you know, I saw Tekashi on Instagram kind of talking about how he was kind of having second thoughts about a lot of stuff now that this happened. So, you know, it's always, it's not a positive necessarily, but hopefully people learn, because like that was how it was for the Tupac and Biggie. I think that happened, and so many people were like, okay, now we know what we don't want to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this is not really a similar situation because it wasn't like a beef or anything, but I think it made a lot of people wake up to like what they're promoting and everything, you know, because these kids are out here doing some crazy stuff, you know.
Extremely.
Just, you know, yeah, so hopefully, you know, it's a learning experience if nothing else, you know, and everything.
Switching over to a lighter note, you know, my favorite couple, Beyoncé and Jay-Z, you know, they dropped their album over Father's Day weekend, and you know, it's entitled "Everything Is Love." They've basically been promoting this whole like title, name of the song on their tour and everything, you know, but people did not, you know, catch on to it, and it was a shocker and everything. But they kind of got a little bit of backlash because Nas dropped his album on the same day as well before they did, so. You know, everybody's just like, well, you know, Nas and Jay-Z had their own beef and everything. And it was like, well, why would Jay-Z and Beyoncé drop their album on the same day as Nas did and stuff? And because, you know, Nas' album was, I think, was produced by Kanye West. So, I don't know. You know how people are. They just, but I actually like the album. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. And I know that's a shocker because, you know, everybody knows I love everything Beyoncé does. But my favorite song on the album, will have to be 8-ish. I can't say the word, but you know the main song that everybody has heard and Boss. Those are like my two favorite ones on there.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, because you're a Beyonce fan, and I'm definitely a big Jay-Z fan. Do you consider this like the ending to the trilogy of Lemonade and then 444? Is this kind of, you think that's what they were trying to kind of do, is like make it almost like a companion pieces?
Yeah, I feel like it was because, you know, they've been talking about, it's been circling around about them doing a jointed album, but nobody knew when it was going to take place or what's the name of it was or when it was going to get dropped. So I believe that it is a conclusion to Lemonade and 444. With Lemonade, you got her side, the empowerment of women, freedom, it was just like a masterpiece. With Jay-Z, is more so like being a man, stepping up, admitting your faults, you know what I'm saying, while hitting different subjects and targets along the way. And then with this one, I just feel like, you know, they've had like, we have a beautiful family, they renew their vows and everything, you know, so it's like they have come to the conclusion that this is our life, this is our marriage. There are things that are going to take place, and it's all about love and forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? So if she can forgive him and still love him for the things that he have done, then I believe everybody else can just mind their business. But, you know, they don't keep doing what they're doing anyway.
Yeah, and I got to say, I'm a huge Jay-Z fan, I got to say. And I like Beyonce's music that I hear on the radio, but I've never really listened to a whole Beyonce album. But I know all Jay-Z's albums, so I gotta say, I listened to it, and I gotta say I liked it. Like Beyonce did her thing on there, you know what I'm saying? Jay-Z did his thing, and it almost brought to mind when Jay-Z dropped. He had an album with R. Kelly called "Best of Both Worlds" back in the day.
Yeah,
it kind of reminded me of that, like the rap singing she was doing and stuff. It was really, I liked. They had a good chemistry. The beats were cool, and I was really impressed. I was like, wow, this is a really good album. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing that they, you know, that they can just drop out of nowhere and be at the top of their game every time they do something. That's amazing. You know what I'm saying? But that's really dope. But I liked it though.
I think that I did hear a little bit of, you know, backlash on the album. They were saying something about, oh, well, Beyonce is rapping now, I don't like this. Beyonce rapping and stuff like that. I was like, are you worried about her rapping, or are you worried about understanding the lyrics? Are you listening to the lyrics? Are you understanding what they're talking about?
But that's another thing. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
And I think that's one thing people got to realize, and that's why I said it kind of reminded me of Best of Both Worlds. Because R. Kelly was kind of like, he was one of the first people doing it, but he kind of, when he got with Jay-Z, what he did was kind of like, he kind of made it like rap singing. That's kind of what she was doing, like singing, but it's still rap. And I think anytime two people like that with different sounds come together, it's a challenge for them, you know, to bring their sounds together. So you kind of almost have to come up with your own sound. So I feel like she probably went into it with like a different mindset than she goes into with her albums. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to hold my own on this thing because Jay-Z's spitting all these bars, so I got to come hard. You know what I'm saying? And she had a lot of clever stuff in there. And I like it. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I mean, I can't speak for like y'all in the Beehive, like how y'all feel. But I thought it was dope. I thought it was a dope, you know. She did her thing. It was something new, fresh, different that nobody's doing. You know what I'm saying? On the female singing side. So I thought it was pretty dope.
Yeah, then the visuals that they had for their albums prior to Everything Is Love is Everything. You know, it tells a story, and that's what a lot of people. That's where a lot of videos, they don't tell stories anymore. They don't give you. It's like you can tell that they take time with doing their craft. They take it serious. You know what I'm saying? They rather put out albums than just drop singles. You know, because a single could be done, and that's it. They ain't got to go make another one. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them, they drop a whole album, and you just pick songs up there. Whatever one you feel there is enough played out, you go find another one. But I think a lot of people, they don't listen to the whole albums anymore. They listen to what they hear on the radio because that's the songs that are being pushed. They don't listen to the whole album, and then they just be like, oh, I don't like this song because of this or that, but did you listen to the whole album, though? Did you get the concept of what they were trying to put out there? So
Right. You're right. You're absolutely right. And one last thing I'll say on it. I just thought it was a great project because even like the beats, everything was like, you know, to me it was just like A1. I've been hearing a lot of good hip hop lately as a hip hop fan. You know, from the Kanye to the Nas to the Pusha T. And when I heard this, I was like, wow, you know, just for Jay-Z alone to, you know, be able to do it at this level for so long is amazing.
Yeah.
And same thing with Beyoncé, like to start out, just one of the biggest stars in the world, you know, and to be able to still come and bring it every time, like even on this level, still sound hungry and everything. I was impressed. You know what I'm saying? And I would tell you it wasn't just because it was Jay-Z and Beyonce. I would, trust me, like if I don't like something, I'll say I didn't like it. You know, it just, that wasn't it. But they did their thing, though, for real.
See, I never even get a chance to listen to Nas' album, but everybody was saying it was better than Beyonce and Jay-Z's album. I was reading, somebody had gave Jay-Z and Beyonce's album a 6 because of her rapping. You know, so there was like, there's only about 2 or 3 great songs on there, and Jay-Z needs to give it up because he's getting old or whatever. You know, and it's just like, does it matter about the age? He can still keep up with these young boys. I just think that everybody's so used to wanting to hear about people trapping all day instead of learning and understanding what real lyricists are.
Yeah.
You know, anybody can go out there and make music, but you have to be a lyricist at first. Like, your lyrics have to hit home. You know, if they don't, then...
Also, I think that we're in an interesting space with music because, you know, you got a lot of people that are getting a little older that came up on, like, you know, like nothing but lyrics. They listen to rap, but then you got the younger kids also listen to rap. So it's kind of like a place for everything, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some artists like Kendrick or J. Cole get a little bit of both crowds, you know what I'm saying? Or even Future, he does more like what the young kids do, but he still gets a little bit of both crowds, you know. So it's like, it's a interesting place for music, but the thing is, it's room for everybody, you know
you
what I'm
guys,
saying?
thank you for tuning in to Get Laced. Let's talk hot topics with yours truly, Santana and G-Stamps, better known as G Boogie. You guys, make sure you tune in next week for more hot topics. We're going to be talking about the BET Awards and everything that's circling around that. We're going to talk about the justice for Junior, the kid who got killed in New York City. and many more different things we're going to talk about, you guys. Also, hit us up on our Twitter at Southern Lace, you guys. You can always come in there, ask us questions or things that you feel that we should discuss on our Hot Topics podcast. Just anything. It doesn't even matter. You can ask us what color pizza we like, even though that's not really a real question, but or a real answer. But it doesn't matter. You can, like I said, you can ask us anything. And always remember, do what you can where you are with what you have. Stay laced and stay blessed.
Dream life. I got the eye of the tiger. There's no way that